Hi everyone, as you would have seen by the thumbnail, today we're going to make an Asian temple shaped display box. Now this is actually part of a challenge run by the channel Poor Man's DIY, and I'll have them linked down below. There's actually a few of us makers involved. Poor Man's DIY, Richard and Jennifer have made origami animals, sent them out to us, and then we are in a competition essentially to make who can make the best display box. So I've got some scrap wood here, which I think will be perfect for the first step. Now I am a bit limited on time today, so hopefully today I'm hoping to get the roof structure done that wraps around. Now I'm going to be using some unordinary methods to get this done. I'm actually going to pull the table saw out. So with the table saw, I'm actually going to attach a piece of scrap wood with a straight edge along the bed to where I want the piece to run across. I'm actually going to run these pieces of timber across the blade instead of through the blade. Now keep in mind, I have tested this and it works if you do very shallow passes. Any higher than what I have here now, I wouldn't do because the blade just does not want to cut through sideways. Obviously it's not made for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of this, the wood I'm going to use. I'm going to hold it up against the blade to see the sort of round arch that it's going to put in. Put a little mark on the table saw where I want the fence to be, and then make sure that's straight across, and then I can run all the pieces through to give me the little bit of an arch that I need. Two of these boards through the table saw. Pretty happy with how they came out. It's just a subtle curve, but it's enough for what I need. Hopefully that'll focus, probably not. So now I need to go over to the miter saw and set up to actually cut these to how I need them. Now, I've never done this before, but I am going to try it my first time at compound miter cuts. So essentially, I'm going to turn the blade to cut 45 degrees, and then I also need to tilt the blade as well so that it's cutting on two axes essentially, so that once I put the two corners together, they're going to essentially sit at an angle both ways, if that makes sense. It'll make more sense once I actually do it and put it together. Okay, now I've got the two roofs actually glued up. While I'm waiting for them to dry, I'm going to build the actual like temple box part. Now, it's going to be 2 levels. I'm going to actually make it out of MDF. So I'll run the MDF to get a strip the height of the box, and then actually make a box that fits inside of the roof frame. So it's actually, I actually need the actual temple to be small enough where the roof will actually snugly slide over the top of it. And then I need to make 2 of those with 1 wall missing and a floor to divide both as well. So it's the next day, and I got home from work at 3 AM this morning and thought I would paint the walls ready to go for today. But I was quickly reminded that spray paint doesn't really like to attach to MDF. So I'm going to scrap that idea, and I have some pine board that I ran through the thicknesser for another project. And I think I'm going to use this for the walls and floor instead. And now, originally I was going to paint the entire thing, but I think instead I'm just going to do 2 different contrasting colors, because essentially the only colors are white, red, and black. So I think I'll still paint the roof black, but then the walls and the bottom can be pine, and then I have some contrasting color wood that I can use for all the detail pieces. So I've made the walls and attached the detail here. I do still have to add detail to the top and bottom, and if I have enough wood, hopefully I can add a bit more detail, but I'll have to see how I go with my suppliers, because I actually don't have that much of that particular wood. It's just some scraps that I had laying around. But the roofs are now dry. They've had time to dry overnight. Now, if you actually look at an Asian temple, other than the curve that goes this way, it also curves from corner to corner this way. So I'm just going to pull out the bent sander and run them along and just give them that subtle curve. It doesn't need to be too much of a curve, but just enough for you to notice it. And I might sand the corner up a little bit, but I'd probably not actually, because I don't know how that's going to look and I don't want to ruin it. So we'll just add that curve in and then give it just a bit of a nice sand so it's not so rough, and then give it a coat of paint. so I'm almost done. The main structures there, I need to now go along and make the fence around the outside here. So I have another strip of this same ready color wood that I'm going to cut into square strips, and then I'll make the fence. I'm just going to glue it up with hot glue, and then once that's all finished, go over the entire thing with a clear gloss.
Who's next?
Let's see. Maker Mackie wanted a monkey appropriate. I'm gonna hand this to him.
So cute.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hi everyone, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit that subscribe button down below. Maybe leave a like rating. You can also follow me on social media on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll have links to those down below. I'll also have links to Poor Man's DIYs channel and the playlist to go along with this build off, and I'll see you next time.